community ni bi when you be etwitwa me entino wo be catch again enka ekufo de na prepare this budget enka wo beti awahe is not relevant question bisam say anye edumafo ayi abosokan amusuan say be reduce duty cars ayede ba untumi ntwa dit me boa show me this budget you had an input into it show me baby leading to reduction in port duty. Betting tax, what has it got to do with port duty? Tell me. What is it? Emission, whatever levy. What has it got to do with port duty? And these are irrelevant. And also, we are trader. You're focusing the other side and say, duty near the Emma from now, and near man from near the other. And you had an input into this. You couldn't speak. Everybody, no expert, say, you better port duty. So, look, apart from 17.2 VAT na akufo-addo yi free importation of spare parts. Mami try another port duty. You say, reduce import duty for all goods excluding vehicle by 50%. So, import duty of all goods would be about akufo-addo reduce the price of the duty by 50%. Then 20 and then reduce import duty on vehicles by 30%. Okay, see you can nothing. Bisam budget here I will ready. Show me one item I lead to reduction in import duty on other goods or vehicles or any spare part. Show me. And you had an input. And all these professionals, Professor Gachi, Professor this, Munina, you had an input. What are you doing to the country? Champion, I hope you are getting your point. So what I say?
Meaning all these professionals that Ghanaians are here,
yes,
to say,
they will help because President Ebakono, let's assume, Muna Musa Bamu academia, and you consulted all of them. Mahama consulted me, Mahama me family hitting sin so because when you obey be a paradigm. And look at the results we have given to them. They are struggling to let people support this budget. But the inside is so bad in such a way that I wonder why should you allocate 2.7 billion to my office? Why is I have reduced ministers from 88 to 60? What is the correlation? And Kwache office 78 million. Once akufo-addo time, 88 ministers, now 10 million. So how would you do that?
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense to me. Look, and when you look at, I said, abolish SI duty on petroleum. Look at how petroleum in the city. Send a from cost of fuel near the akufo-addo reduce the import duty on that. Now, and then provided full corporate tax deductions for private universities who plow back and this. You see, there were certain private universities, not we say corporate tax. So who prepare accounts no show profit, do corporate tax. You know what President Nadu? I said, look, to plow back the profit because when you profit now, a binum krano, a transfer to we say outside. I hope you are getting me. Yeah. We would transfer profit in the call, not thereby affecting the we say exchange rate near the other. Wow, repatriation of profit. And you know what they did? Private investors and now private business and normally I'm repatriation of profit. Most of them have other business associates outside. Now to encourage them to put in more money here, you know what happened? Champion, you know what happened? Or reduce the corporate tax on private university to make sure to entice them that when you get the profit, plow back into it. Fashion a juvenile expand it. See more classrooms. And this time maybe a year, and I want a term admission. So who to me 5,000 and who the bishop now see more but me for 2,000. Once you take 2,000, your corporate profit will be very high. A very high, after a bank to me a taxi. And so it helped them. That is one of the relevant taxes. Show me what has it got to do with betting tax. bet how many people even stake bet? And what is the impact?
Okay.
And so Akufo-Addo did this. What I say? And then reduce national electrification scheme levy from 5 to 3%. Is that okay? National electrification. Yeah. And also 5% reduce to 3%. Send your baby household and everything they will and then reduce electricity tariff from for residential businesses and then industries and consume and then the whole. Now the reason why we give this explanation is that look, you remove taxes when you realize that it will have an impact and the businesses to appreciate, to make you more profit, so that you get your corporate tax, and thereby it will lead to appreciation in the overall government revenue. Now, when all these things were removed, the end result was that we were able to 2019. If you look at the year, we say a report from Bank of Ghana and all those things, it means then that it led to a growth of from 11% to 13% in 2019. Can you forget that speech near the now? And that is the significant thing. Now, let's come to champion. The VAT duties that we say taxes are also me I'm going through back.
Okay.
And see whether they are relevant. One, yes, VAT on national lottery. Say no cry implement it, but you see, MPP go for MPP. I'm a disservice to MPP, and now they are speaking. What you say? Me respect no. But let me tell you, Mutu, you didn't do a good job. You are now going around explaining. Back your friend say, you're not vice president. Advise your friend say. I'm disappointed in him. When those people were using those taxes to do propaganda, where were you? When you said that on notice, you didn't implement. Samuel Kukwa implement it. And so why didn't you come to explain to Ghanaians that those taxes we are not Mommy, you are propaganda. You say the same thing. You are also explaining the same thing. You were all in government. You didn't know that. Sana no cry implement it. Mission. Your friend say, I'm a friend say.
Emission levy.
Emission levy, no. And no cry say implement it. Show me a hifan will be to emission levy. Show me office banning you to a go. Sana no cry champion. Nina you implement it. And you was quiet. And when they were communicating during the out to 2024, they were mentioning those taxes. And I would emission levy. And I would and you didn't come to explain. You are now sweating, going FM and this explaining all to what? Outgone finance minister. On one check I say, I mean, and let me spare him. What I say? Because one check. Now you are explaining that all those taxes now you implement it. Only about 2 or 3 pay. Now me and we had the bet.
That 10% now bet are not material.
Come now. Show me how this bet removal that levy will lead to appreciation, will lead to a reduction in poor duty. Because that's where it's significant. Goods and services from outside. My friend say drugs a fee outside the importer. How would it lead to a reduction in the duty? So it's completely irrelevant. Look, how many people in the state bet? How many? Even to the extent that are to forcing them. In the video, he was supporting the betting tax because of Ghanaian boys in here lazy, and I'm sure that's say on mine. It's on one person you know, but for the sake of Professor Gache, no money input into Anna. Omunim say, "Someone here, dear Ghanaian for the bay omuno." And dear Grand, you know, omutumu say, "And yet, and you see, and then they say they remove what again? Apart from the betting." What is and look at betting in lottery, you know, the statement and ambiguity. And you who's other betting no and I say, Okoyi lottery is already no you implemented. And it's a also Okoyi and one I say a zero.
11.
Tina say VAT no beko and I 11. e-levy. That is electronic
transactions and
champion. And now you want digitized world. And people make money through. Look, if you go outside, champion, if you go outside and you look at their revenue structure, baby, countries be champion. How many sikapi FIPA countries in sikapi taxes on the electronic because these days, champion physical money they to DSC go outside in a supermarket. Yeah, handy sika bibia electronic. Uye bibia so what I say. But and only there a option, and there nobody obian who are on the internet there option. So be remove me boy. Internet obia and the young fan say, "Do there you levy granny the because bet the end me outside." So effectively, champion, only two we say taxes, and now you free ho. Which I say, look at the 17 akufo-addo then to help businesses to grow. Would you acquire no better ties has nothing to do business. It has nothing to do with that. Obi na akodi na yi na yatene kakra no cry the consumption or you know they akwa pay bibi dia hwe hafa. What I say? So all these are irrelevant, and you have professional input into this, and you know something. Man, no. In an attempt to remove these taxes, because we remove, I want to say, before the budget, some CSOs, some pressure group near the everyone here, as a research companies, no worry, say, those taxes now, Obama at the revenue gap of about 8 billion. So how are they going to take care of that? Alternative. But you see, I told you here, I told you, say akufo-addo then. I'm so those taxes. If I'm areas, I'm bet me I export it rather than this one, and akufo-addo.
Okay.
You have exhausted all the parameters. I was some person who give more revenue from taxes. I say existing taxes now now be increasing. To say corporate tax that 25, now they got 30. And also so be businesses. PAYE, our workers, PAYE or graduated who go increase percentages, Who the way import duty now as the be account. And near me say. So make attempt to say just those but we need to look for a new gray area. And may assess who say no, apart from baby electronic we say bet in the me where area be about to me a taxi fee. I said it here, now in an attempt to bridge that gap,